Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another one in the blog and vlog series that I do through the Memphis Songwriters Association, breaking down songwriting, what makes certain songs work, whether they were hits or not. Now, I kind of went a different route with this, not focused. I focused on character development. I focused on what has made certain hits work over the years, and various other things as well. I've focused on metaphors, and now I'm focusing on similes. So this particular song that I'm about to talk about is one of my favorites, and this is a Bob Dylan song. So I just want to warn you guys that I might go a little off script, might get a little off the rails in my gushing, but that just kind of comes with the territory. So this is another simile one. I was going to say similar to the last one I did, but it's the exact same as the one I did, which still uses the word as. But anyway, this is Like a Rolling Stone, which focuses on similes, uses a simile in the title. And then the last one that I'm going to do for this at least particular blog entry is another simile. So let's dive into it. Lyrically, I said I might get a little off the rails talking about this, but it should be noted that that would actually fit very well because lyrically, this particular song, I do want to point out that Dylan is notorious for changing up his lyrics when he plays live. He views songs as a living piece of art. But when I was in Tulsa visiting the Bob Dylan Center, the exhibit about this song said that this is the one song that he views as being complete. So it's a really fascinating stream of consciousness song that discusses someone who's down on their luck, but kind of deserves it. Some reports say the original draft, which started off as a poem, was 10 pages long. Other reports say that it was 20 pages long, or up to 20 pages. Until he got to the "How does it feel" line in there, he didn't really view it as a song, but that's what the last line of the pre-choruses rhyme with throughout the whole song. Such as about having to be scrounging for your next meal, and say, "Do you want to make a deal?" After he took from you everything he could steal, and you're invisible now, you have no secrets to conceal. So he does the same thing in Tangled Up in Blue, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, right? So he definitely is no stranger to, having a chorus or whatever, like a little refrain. But the difference here is that the "How does it feel?" that's a full-on chorus. So I might be mislabeling it as a pre-chorus, but for our purposes, we can, kind of call it that. It also contains some of my favorite visuals lyrically, such as riding on a chrome horse with your diplomat. The exact line is, "You used to ride on your chrome horse with your diplomat, who carried on his shoulder a Siamese cat." So diplomat with a Siamese cat on his shoulder, that's pretty impressive. And then Napoleon in rags. You used to be so amused at Napoleon in rags and the language that he used. Picturing Napoleon in rags is really fascinating to me. And we always see Napoleon as short, but he's always like very pompous and on his high horse and well dressed and whatever. But Napoleon in rags is, man, Napoleon's down on his luck. That'll never be me. It's just such an amazing visual. And it should be noted that, as I said at the top, this is another simile song where he doesn't lean into it the whole time. That's something that I didn't mention, but it is a simile song, but he doesn't lean into it the whole time. So everything he talks about, with the main character being a forced vagabond due to her life choices, leads up to her being like a rolling stone. But there's no reference to the cliche of a rolling stone gathering no moss or anything like that. It's just implied with everything else that he says. So melodically, this song is written in the key of C major and is defined by its organ part played by Al Cooper. So Al was not originally supposed to play in the session, or at least play keys in the session, but he admired what Bob did, so he snuck in and started playing organ. Trying to keep up, the organ can be heard coming in about a half step behind. And when Bob stopped the first take, Al was really nervous, thinking that he was going to get kicked out of the session. But Bob told the organ player to do that same thing again, and that's how that distinct organ part came to be. In the years to come, ironically enough, Al Cooper would serve as a de facto band director for Dylan, teaching the parts Bob wanted on the track to the studio musicians he would hire, and then presumably the people, for the tours and stuff as well. But definitely the, studio recordings. Structurally, I chatted about this briefly when I talked about the structure of Tangled Up in Blue in my first blog and vlog, and, kind of talked about it here a little bit, comparing those two. But Like a Rolling Stone is about 30 seconds longer than Tangled, but it keeps one key element that the latter does not, as I mentioned earlier, that chorus. So you have this stream of consciousness verses, and then that very simple chorus of how does it feel to be on your own, like a complete unknown, with no direction home, like a rolling stone. No bridge is necessary, but some sort of grand conclusion to your ramblings in the verses absolutely was, as opposed to just rambling for the whole time. And that's what shows up in the chorus. So that is a little breakdown of Like a Rolling Stone, the Bob Dylan song. And there was uh, it's something in the news recently about Travis Tritt and him, scrapping Bud Light from his tour, sponsoring his tour, because of them going woke. And the only reason why I bring that up is because Here's a Quarter is one of my favorite diss tracks of all time, and still kind of is. I said it was my third favorite diss track, but I completely forgot that Bob Dylan has three of my favorites. I forgot about Like a Rolling Stone, the other two being Positively Fourth Street and Idiot Wind. But Like a Rolling Stone is really unique in terms of that stream of consciousness thing. And Idiot Wind, although long, does not feel like a stream of consciousness song. It feels like a very targeted bit of insults. And same thing with Positively Fourth Street. Those are important to bring up in the same conversation, because they were released in his period from 64 to 66, where he just released an insane amount of material, all just phenomenally good. But anyway, that is Like a Rolling Stone. Like I said, talking about a simile, using a simile in a song, but not necessarily like sticking to that simile for the whole time. Um, Everything just kind of leading up to it, and that being the grand conclusion. I hope you got something out of this, and I hope that it affects your writing in a positive way. If Bob Dylan affects your writing in a positive way, then you are already on the right track in terms of your writing, because he is, in my opinion, the best to ever do it. But make sure you tune in for my next video, my next vlog, and we'll actually be talking about one to two of my other favorite writers, and that's Simon and Garfunkel doing Bridge Over Troubled Water. I hope you enjoy it and enjoyed this one.